Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Friday, December 30th, 2016. These images show the precipitation for the past 7 days with the observed amounts on the left and the percent of normal on the right. We had a good little Christmas storm move through portions of the Great Basin. This was especially favorable for the southern Great Basin, with over 600% of normal precipitation observed in some of those locations. This morning's water vapor imagery shows an area of low pressure over Southern California that will kind of track across the southern U.S. over the weekend, and we'll also be expecting an area of low pressure to drop south from the Pacific Northwest in the Sunday and Monday timeframe. The overall air quality is going to be fairly poor for the next few days, as there's not much movement to the air mass right now. Light transport winds and low mixing heights represent a fairly stagnant air mass. On Saturday, that area of low pressure over Southern California will begin to move westward, and we'll also begin to see the low pressure system setting up over the Pacific Northwest. Some improvement in the ventilation index can be seen across the south on Saturday. As mixing heights increase in those areas, we'll also see some gustier winds. On Sunday, that broad area of low pressure will drive south across the western U.S. This should increase overall ventilation rates, especially later in the day across the east. Gustier winds should be seen pretty much everywhere across the Great Basin on Sunday, with higher mixing heights associated with that low pressure system. Utah's clearing index shows poor values for today and tomorrow, with increasing values, especially over the higher elevations for Sunday. Precipitation amounts should be fairly light for the next few days. By Monday, the cold front should have swept through most of the Great Basin, bringing increased ventilation rates to much of the area. The ventilation index remains high across the southern and eastern Great Basin going into Tuesday, but we'll see a decrease by Wednesday and into the second half of the week as a more stagnant air mass moves into the area. A very cold air mass is expected to move into the Great Basin for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with some of the coldest temperatures we've seen all winter. Precipitation accumulation for days 4 and 5 are shown here, with the best chance of precip again occurring over the central and southern Utah mountains. The extended forecast going into the second week of January is showing that very cold air mass moving into the western U.S. and perhaps an above normal chance for precipitation along the western U.S. as well. This concludes today's briefing. Please check back on Monday for the latest update.